This video is going to give you an introduction to BrainPop. We have BrainPop English American, BrainPop Francais, BrainPop Espanol, and also BrainPop ESL. I believe we also have the kindergarten version as well. They all have the same password. You can find that through the library website or from my Tech Tuesday Google slide. So first things first, when you visit BrainPop, you should see all these beautiful pictures. If you see a whole bunch of grey play buttons, that means your flash isn't working. So a way that you can enable that is to go to Chrome, //plugins, and just tick this always allowed to run button. This is like a little magic trick that's going to help you with loads of different things, right? Okay, I'm going to go back to this. This video is going to show you the English version, the French and Spanish version, and the ESL version are very similar. They don't have the features of My BrainPop, which I will introduce in a second. So in my last school, we used BrainPop as many schools do, which is mainly for the video and the quiz function. So you can go into a subject that you teach, so for example, science, and then you break it down even more. So maybe I'm going to go into my energy section, and you choose a video. The videos are all very formulaic, so they start with a letter that a student has written to Moby and Tim, which is a robot and a young boy, and they answer the question. The robot just beeps along, he doesn't actually speak. It's very easy to watch because they have a kind of formula. I think the students get used to them and really like them. And normally I would use these videos either as homework and get them to take the quiz as homework. This is before I knew about BrainPop, so the students didn't have logins. They would just take a screenshot of their results, or they'd watch a video in class when we were introducing a new subject, and we'd have a class discussion. So the videos are really good. They're only about 3 or 4 minutes long. They're cartoon, animated, and at the end they can take the quiz. You'll also find that there's extra information in there, so there's like activities you can do relating to the topic. I don't think that activities are the best feature in BrainPop, but I will show you some more. Game up and make a map I will show you in a second once I've shown you my BrainPop. So I also wanted to show quickly the spotlight section. So at the moment we have 2 spotlights. I'll click the STEM one. This means often they have a lot of free videos for people who don't subscribe, and it's like their theme thing that they're pushing at the moment. So obviously STEM is a big buzzword, it's very popular, so they have a whole range of things from 3D printing through to Nikola Tesla. What I really like is it's not just the flavour of the month, so it's not just whatever's spotlighted now. You can go back and look at all the spotlights. So if I go through here, I can see month by month. And what I think is really good is September's digital citizenship, because obviously these videos can be used by advisors, by any teacher. I mean, if they've got things like plagiarism, copyright, these are things that we should all be teaching our kids, right? So these are really, really useful. And it even has like a online safety poster, which you generate with your things there. So you can see at the top that I'm actually logged in. So they've released this new feature called My BrainPop. When you first go to the website, you're going to enter code. There is a code that your librarian or that I can give you, which is the teacher code. Once you're in there, you can create classes. So you can see that I've created some. I haven't actually had students sign up yet. I will do soon. Very easy to create your class, new class, name, and you can generate the class code. The class code is not going to work if it's one that everyone has. So don't have like class code as your class code. And students do the same thing. They visit My BrainPop and they click on the enter code button. As you can see, I'm already signed in and I still have enter code. That's because I had to enter a code to be a teacher in the school and to sign up. Now, for example, when a student is logged in, they might want to be in multiple classes. They might want to be in a science class or a maths class, so they can continue entering codes. There's also a feature I'm going to show you a bit later, which allows you to create quizzes, and your quizzes also have codes, so that's useful there. So the first thing that you can do in My BrainPop as a student is an awesome mind map activity. So you do it usually linked to a video. So let's go into engineering and tech. And let's actually go into digital citizenship as well. And let's say that we had watched a video all about plagiarism. So I've watched the video, maybe we've taken the quiz. Underneath there's a make a map button. So it's like a normal mind map, but what happens is it gives you all the keywords in that video, and it also gives you images from that video. So you can see here keywords and also images. So I might start with this picture. It's going to give you different nodes. So all the things that you add there are called nodes. So I'm going to put my circle as my main thing. It's going to be academic honesty, because that's a much nicer term, right? And you can connect things by dragging arrows. You can write things on the arrows. I think it's a really cool tool. They can also submit it to teachers. So if they have a teacher, they can submit it if they're part of the class, and you can give them comments and feedback to grow it. You'll see that people are using it with a whole range of different levels. Someone might just do a very simple mind map with a whole bunch of arrows coming off of it. Someone might have one with different sections. They might color code things, which you can do here. They might create different types of arrows. So I can click the arrow and then I can't quite remember how to do the arrow, I'm afraid. But you can do all different things there. So I think that's a really nice way to create the mind map, because it gives people these images already, and it gives them the video they can watch through again just to remember those things. They can also drag things onto here. I think they'll produce really, really nice work. So if I just switch to my thing that I show on Tuesdays, here's one I made very quickly all about coding, and you can see it has an area about the products you can make, an area about instructions for computers and the languages. So it has the actual languages here, then it has some of the commands, and I put in little images. I made this in about 5 minutes. It's a bit messy, but you can see that students can do quite complex ones. So going back to my BrainPop, there are other features. So if I go to just BrainPop again, students can watch a video. So let's choose a different video. Let's choose science. In fact, let's not go in that route. You can find games that relate to videos, or you can just go straight into this section called Game Up. Now, what's really cool about Game Up, when I pick the science ones, is that there's some fantastic games out here. Now, a lot of these games that are here are ones that you would have to pay a lot of money for. So I've seen ones that are available on Glass Lab Games, which is quite an expensive program to buy, and we're really lucky that we get all of these through our BrainPop subscription, and they're all different types of games. I think students will really, really like them. It's a really good thing for them to do maybe after they've watched the video and the quiz. Maybe you could even set the video games for homework. What I really like as well is these are nearly all from outside sources, but you can go in and see the Sortify. So if I go up here and type in Sortify, these are made by BrainPop. So there's a whole bunch here. I did one with Brooke, and actually we found it quite difficult. We did one to do with continents and oceans. So you have to kind of classify things, I guess. So you get all these different factors, and you need to sort them into these buckets. So I'm going to have this bucket. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have my bucket is going to be themed around maybe Europe. If I do Europe, it's a very simple one. It's only worth 1 point. So I can just drag in some things that are based in Europe. So Italy. I think you need to have more than 2 things in there. I'll put Europe. Click to open bucket, and then submit bucket. All right, so I get my tick. There's also the next bucket, which you can put these things, which have, I guess, you have to order things in them. So least to most popular. So let me have a look. I'm going to put Netherlands, Mexico, and Japan. When you open this one, you have to change the order. So from least to most. So maybe Netherlands. Then I'm going to tape Mexico, and then let me see how I click this one on. Japan. And then I got that right. So you get more points. I think this is a really good thing because it organises your thinking logically. You obviously don't want to have one tile left at the end as well, because you won't get the most points. And you can also ask students the way that they, why did they choose the certain classifications that they chose. So I really like this. Going back into the games, I think they're really, really good. If you look at things like maths games. In fact, let me go back via Game Up. You're going to find some really cool things on there. Now, a good thing about games is that when students play them, they don't necessarily mind getting things wrong or not getting things right straight away. They show a lot more resilience when they play games, and they're a lot more motivated because of competition, wanting to score points, kind of the immediate feedback result you get when you pass a level or complete a level on a game. And again, you can see there's some really good games in here. For example, Game Over Gopher is one from Glass Lab Games. And Glass Lab Games, I mean, the subscription to that is really expensive. So again, we're really lucky that we have this. And there are some games that you might want to play on the board. So I think this one, for example, is like an algebra game. Very, very, very basic algebra game, starting off with a comic. And you have to work out what things are worth. So going back to just My BrainPop, after the games you can also create quizzes. So now obviously there are quizzes related to every video you watch, but you might want to customize one or you might want to create one yourself. So I know that grade 6 do a unit on elements. So elements, the periodic table of elements. And I actually went on here to create a library quiz, which you might have seen. And it was kind of, I thought, oh goodness, what kind of things am I going to ask them? And then it came to this page, and you can search and you find all the other quizzes that people have made. You can then go down and you can copy those questions. So I might actually just copy all of his questions, or maybe I would just want to copy one or two. So I now copied all this guy's questions in here, and this is my quiz. Maybe I actually don't want to have this last one, I can delete it, etc. When you've finalized your quiz, you get a quiz code. So AIS elements, for example, your quiz code must contain at least 1. And now when my students, I want them to take that quiz, I literally can give them this link, or I can give them this code which they would type in the top. I don't have any kids yet in my classes because I just hadn't had time to start using it, but you'll start to see all their work in like a table, and it shows you their points, it highlights things they've got wrong, it shows you how much work they're doing. You can also see the chronologically who's been looking at what video, who's been playing what game. It's really, really useful way of managing your class. BrainPop, again, I think it's normally really, really popular in primary schools, but the videos are fine for 6, 7, 8. I even use them sometimes in my grade 10, kind of a bit tongue-in-cheek, but like just to introduce the subject, and it worked fine. I really recommend using it and exploiting all those different features. If you want to sit with me one-on-one and set up My BrainPop, or you want some further instruction about some of the games to play, please send me an email.